What's going on, Blazer fans? Welcome into the Uprise post-game show. What a huge win by the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm going to enjoy this win tonight. Carmelo Anthony hits the game-winning pull-up jumper with 3.3 seconds left. Mario Hezonja plays great defense on the last possession of the game, stifling Kyle Lowry, who misses the game-winning three. And the Blazers finally get one of these wins. They finally win against a winning team. It seems like it's been forever since they've gotten a win like this. And this game went a lot like games in the past month. You know, the Blazers start off slow. They get down double digits, and then they try and claw their way back, but they weren't able to close the gap in the past. And that seemed like it was going to be the case tonight, but this time they finally actually closed that gap, went ahead late, and won one of these games. And I'm just going to enjoy this, you know. It's been a tough season. We haven't had many bright spots, and this is one bright spot that you can look at where, you know, you could just look back at this game and enjoy it. Shout out Ol Jakob House for the Christmas came early this year comment with the 20 Norwegian cronies, I believe they're called. Appreciate the donation, man. Yeah, I mean, we finally get a fun win, an exciting win. You know what I mean? You can look at our record. Our record still sucks, but I'm not going to focus on that. We shouldn't focus on that whatsoever. Let's just soak up this win. Let's just enjoy this win because we've gone so long without a win that we can feel good about. You know, we've taken care of bad teams. We've had a stretch of bad teams that we should have beat, and we've been hit or miss with games like that. But this is the first game that we were the underdog in that we've won. I mean, the last winning team that we beat was OKC at home. It was OKC at home. That was a game where we absolutely blew them out, but at that point, they weren't playing well. That win didn't feel that good. Before that, our last win against a winning team came all the way back in October in Game 3 of the season. So this win feels pretty special, feels pretty rare. It's awesome to have Dame and Melo going off down the stretch. The refs definitely didn't do us any favors. I thought they were bad, but we overcame that, and we got a much-needed win. Now, our second half defense was a lot better than our first half defense, and that follows the script of previous games. We only gave up, I believe, 22 points in the third quarter, 21 points in the fourth quarter. It might have been flipped, but that was much better than the first couple quarters, and that follows the script. You know, we struggled defensively out of the gates, and then for whatever reason during the second half, we start doing what we should be doing. We start stepping up on that end, and we're actually competitive against decent teams. We saw that with the Heat. We were just too far behind in order to close that gap. Tonight, we combined that with shot making. We got more stops. You know, I mean, we held them to 43 second half points. That's pretty good, even though they were missing guys to injuries, even though they're a very injury-plagued team. At the same time, we are too. You know, so I think it was kind of like two teams in the same boat here, being injured, being a little banged up. Winning in Toronto is not easy. That crowd was loud tonight. They have a great home court advantage. It's kind of the opposite type of game as last year. Remember last year, Kawhi Leonard hit that mid-range pull-up to win the game for the Raptors. That was a heartbreaker. This year we break their hearts in Toronto with Carmelo Anthony. I think that was 28 points for Melo. Had another terrific game. Shout out to M. Sotelo 503 said, this year is like a bad relationship, up and down. At least we're peaking, you know, on the top of that hill of that roller coaster right now because this win feels good, man. I'll get Eric Brandt on this post-game show. He'll probably take it over in about 45 minutes. I got some rec league to go play, but in 45 minutes I'll switch over to Eric's cam. I'll get him in on Skype, and he can run the post-game show for as long as he wants. I don't know. We'll play it by ear, but I need to call him right now. Gotta pull up Skype here. Got that annoying ringtone, that Skype ringtone playing loud in my ears right now. I hate that ringtone. Wish you could like set a different ringtone for it. I hate that ringtone, especially when Eric takes forever to answer. My dude isn't answering, so oh, there we go. There we go. What's up?
Be on in a minute. Hold on.
Alrighty, Eric says he'll be on in a minute. We'll get Eric on in a minute. I'll check in with chat. How you guys doing? You guys enjoying this win? I'm really enjoying this win. Yo Mama says Tori, this game was nuts. Yeah, this game was nuts, man. I mean, whew. It's just a weird feeling good about a Blazer game after the game is over. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, you don't get the same feeling after beating bad teams or teams that we probably should beat. And we haven't had this feeling since game 3, I think, when we beat Dallas on the road. That was the last time we had this feeling. But even then, Dallas was we thought, a lottery team still. So we didn't really get that feeling then either, in my opinion. We beat OKC in, I think, game 2 of the year of the season or something like that. Literally only 4 wins against winning teams, 2 of them versus OKC. I don't think either of those games felt good. It felt like we should beat OKC, and then Dallas game 3, it felt like we should beat them because it seemed like they were still going to be a lottery team at that point. So this is the first win of the season where we beat a surefire playoff team, even though they were banged up. The comeback, Melo getting clutch, some clutch defense. It was really nice to see. Honestly, down the stretch, I was super pessimistic because we've seen this story. The Blazers start off slow with a lack of energy for whatever reason. I mean, they talk about it almost every post game in the locker room. They talk about how they start off slow, don't start off with the proper amounts of energy, and then they step it up later on in the game. So it's just like literally a carbon copy. And because of that, it was like, oh, they're going to play with our hearts and get it close. They'll cut it to 4, and then Chris Boucher is going to hit a 3. O'Shea Brissett is going to hit a 3. Like, that's pretty much our season in a nutshell, but we actually pulled this one out, man. So I'll pull up the box score. Actually, I'll read chat for a little bit. I'll pull up the box score in a little bit. Russell says, great win. Stay positive, y'all. That helps everything. I mean, for me, I'm positive if the team is doing positive things. I'm negative if the team is doing negative things. My mood, my tone reflects the performance of the team. Randall Pink Floyd says, tonight's the difference between 30 wins and 35 wins. Let's go. Terry interview, is he being interviewed right now? I have to wait until it's on YouTube, and I don't think it would be on YouTube yet. But yeah, Mario Hezonja finally stepped up, says AM Productions, and yeah, that final possession, we finally played some clutch defense on the last possession of a game. I wanted to switch screens. We have the personnel in there to switch screens. They had a lot of perimeter players, but we didn't switch screens. Mario Hezonja hedged and doubled the ball, which was Kyle Lowry. He came off that screen, and Kyle Lowry didn't have the time to really pass the ball. So that trap of Kyle Lowry at the end, that blitz of him, was definitely the right decision. Good situational defense by Mario Hezonja. Just good final possession, which we've had a number of bad final defensive possessions that have kind of broke our hearts all season long. Finally, we stepped up and stopped the last second shot. When Kyle Lowry shot that shot, I'm like, oh, here we go, of course, That would have been heartbreaking, man. That would have been heartbreaking. Jake Carey says, Tori didn't catch your sarcasm, LOL. Yeah, if you're, I don't know if you're necessarily talking about the Twitter thing I got in earlier, or what you're talking about there. I'm sarcastic often. Let's just say that. But anyway, did you notice after Whiteside got faked with that up and under of Ibaka, they put Melo on Ibaka and Whiteside on Rondae Hollis-Jefferson? I think that was a clutch move. That was an interesting adjustment. Ibaka isn't really the biggest guy. He plays kind of finesse, plays on the perimeter. So putting Melo on him, worked down the stretch. Leo says, what is that dude Keith's problem, Tori? He doesn't agree with me on Stotts, and I think that, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. We're going to be positive. I'm actually not going to get into the Twitter stuff, but I got into some Twitter beef tonight again because I was kind of being tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic about, the Toronto Raptors are injured too, right? Like, that was, you guys can go read it back if you want, but got into it on Twitter with somebody who doesn't like when I'm make tongue-in-cheek comments. They're not even that bad, I don't think, but screw the beef, dude. Just do you. That's what I do, man. Appreciate the support, Kyle Parker. But anyway. I want to see what this team would be if they put together a full game of defense. I mean, they played better defense in the second half, but they still made some silly mistakes. There was one possession where Patrick McCaw literally dribbled up the court. He was the last guy up the court offensively. We had like 4, maybe even 5 guys back. And he literally basically just walked right to the rim for a wide open layup. I mean, if I was in that position, I could have easily gotten that bucket. You know what I mean? Half of the people in this chat would have easily scored that bucket. Like, I mean, we played better defense in the second half. There were signs of improvement in the second half. That's what I want to see. There were still some mental lapses that I think are a bit inexcusable. Those are fixable. I want to see this team play with energy and play good defense for an entire game, because they ended up being down 15 points at one point because of the way they were playing defense. They weren't playing defense. They weren't playing with energy. They gave up so many offensive rebounds in the first half because they weren't boxing out and weren't crashing the boards as hard as I believe they could. You know, when you got Tolliver in there as center, you're going to have a tough time anyway, but I think that was compounded a bit by other guys on the court not really going hard after rebounds or boxing out. I just want to see this team put together a full game of defense, a full game of effort, a full game of energy, because I want to see how good this team is if they do that. You know what I mean? Like the offense, I've been outspoken about how I believe our offense is structured. It's too stagnant, too much isolation. But the main thing that's really hurting this team is the defensive end. Part of it, I think, is us not running enough schemes, but a major part of it has been just not giving enough energy, not playing hard enough, and making silly mistakes. And that's so controllable. And if you guys don't believe me, Dame's basically said it in almost every post-game interview where they oftentimes don't come out with enough defensive energy. I want to see them come out with defensive energy for once. You know, this is 2 games in a row where they didn't come out with defensive energy. I want to see them come out with defensive energy to start a game and then finish a game. Because what was funny is at the start of the season, they were starting off games really, really well. And then the second half, they'd struggle with defensive energy, with that type of thing. Now they're struggling to start games, and the second half is better. I just want to see a full game. So we're going to bring on Eric Brandt because I think he's ready to go. What's up, man?
What's up, Tori? We got to win, yeah.
We beat a winning team. We finally won a game like this. You know, the game script was like a carbon copy of so many games this year that I thought, like, okay, this is just like every other game. We're going to lose this game. But we won one of these. Finally.
You know what the difference was, low-key?
What's up?
Bazemore getting ejected. Notice how we won. We were down the same. We were down like 10 or somewhere around there when he got ejected, right?
Yeah. You mean just like it lit a spark under the team, or not having Bazemore on the court was a good thing for us?
I'll let you figure out what I'm implying.
Yeah, I think you're implying that you're not having him on the court was a good thing for us because he definitely struggled. Let me look up the box score, but Bazemore's been so rough this season, man. Bazemore's just been rough, and it sucks because I like the guy. He's an easy guy to root for, but he's also a tough guy to have on your team at the same time because he just defensively, I don't think he's been necessarily what he was hyped up to be. He makes too many mistakes, fouls a bit too much, will make a good play here and there, but then, I mean, you look at his stat line, 3 for 10, 1 for 5 from 3. Nope, there's the ad that ESPN plays almost every stream of mine. You guys don't want to hear Buffalo Wild Wings. Actually, that just made me hungry. I want some boneless wings right now, but it's not Thursday. But Bazemore, 3 for 10, 1 for 5 from 3. Just inefficient night. I mean, Trent wasn't much better, 2 points, 1 for 3, and he played some minutes down the stretch. But
I feel like telling Bazemore, like, look, your drives are not working. Please just stop doing that. Like, if you have an
Yeah.
open lane and a dunk or like a lay-in, go ahead. But like, if there's anyone between you and the basket, just stop and dribble out of the key and don't try to attack because like it never works out this week or this season.
Yeah, well, you know what's weird, man, is he'll attack when he doesn't really have a driving lane and will try and force something to get inside. But when he's playing off the ball, he won't cut. He won't cut. He won't he'll have a lane to cut, and instead he'll spot up and he'll settle for a catch and shoot 3-point shot. There's so many times tonight where it was like, dude, just cut through the open space right in front of you. Your guy's completely leaving you. You have a cutting lane to the rim. You could cut, possibly get a lay-in, an easy lay-in, but he doesn't do it. But then when he has the ball, he'll drive 1-on-2 to try and get to the rim and force up some, that weird little like turning flip shot that he does. So I don't know. Bazemore's just a weird player. Bazemore doesn't really fit this team.
I mean, we talked about at the beginning of the year. He has skills that can be useful for a good team. Probably not as a starter. Definitely not as a starter. But like he doesn't play to his strengths at all, and it's frustrating because I've seen him do it in previous seasons on other teams. But yeah, it's like he doesn't know how to play on this team or something. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, his 3-point percentage is in line with where it's been in his career. People are, I don't know. It's funny because I saw Blazer fans that are like, "Oh, we got Kent Bazemore, a 3-and-D guy, a guy finally we got a shooter for Evan Turner." And then those same people now are like, "God, I can't stand when Bazemore shoots. He's not a good shooter." But it's like Bazemore's 3-point percentage is pretty much in line with what it's been his entire career. Like, I didn't expect anything better than the 35% he's shooting right now. So I don't understand where people were disappointed in his shooting, thinking that he was going to be better than this. What I think people are justified in being disappointed in is his scoring inside the arc. He's shooting like 35% inside the arc. That's ridiculously bad. That's so bad. And a lot of it is his drives. The other part is he's not really making plays, and he's not really defending as well as I thought he would this season. So he got ejected. I thought the calls were better after that. That's the thing. Usually when you pick up a couple technicals, the refs almost reward you for that, start giving you a little bit more benefit of the doubt. It's almost like they realize, okay, this guy's really, really mad. We got to tee him up, eject him, but like maybe he has a case. And that's what I've noticed in previous games. A Blazer will pick up a technical and the calls will start being a little bit more even. That's why I wish Terry Stotts would complain a little bit more. I don't think technicals are a bad thing. Sometimes technicals can be a good thing. Even though you're giving up a point, I think you'll get some makeup calls elsewhere because of that. And I thought that kind of seemed like it was the case tonight after Bazemore got those technicals.
Yeah. The refs earlier in the game were letting both teams play. It's kind of weird when you see a game like that. There was people like getting knocked to the floor and no calls. I was shocked they did not call a moving screen on Whiteside on the long Dame 3 towards the end. It looked like the type of play where he definitely should have gotten called for that. I don't know if it was a moving screen, but it just looked like, I'm surprised it didn't look from the ref point of view like it was a for sure call, But I'm glad they let him play because, sorry, my daughter's being
glad you're letting your daughters play too. Oh my goodness. I was surprised too. I think it was Lowry that had that screen set on him. I think he kind of flopped, but Dame bringing out that range down the stretch, man. 2 deep clutch threes is what we love at Dame. I had a feeling when we were down 3 before Whiteside set that screen, I had a feeling like, you know what, Dame might actually just be like, screw it, I'm so tired of losing, I'm just pulling up from 30 and I'm gonna make it. And then he did, and I was like, okay, there we go, Dame. I definitely was surprised because that screen Whiteside has been called on all season long. He does kind of stick his hip out at the last second, so I can't really argue the call. But refs don't really refs let more leeway. They give messing up my words here. They give more leeway on moving screens on last plays of the game in the last minute. So Whiteside probably doesn't get away with that screen in the first half or the third quarter, but on that play, it was more likely he was going to get away with it, and he did. I think Lowry kind of flopped, but Whiteside, I think, definitely stuck his hip out on that screen. Yeah.
That was a great shot by Melo. It was I tweeted this out, but I was hoping to see what play Terry was going to call out of that timeout with, I think there was like 15, 16 seconds left.
I think it just was an isolation for Dame, and then Dame got taken away, so they threw it into CJ. That's what's nice with having multiple isolation scores, 3 isolation scores on the court, is at the end of the game, they take away your first option, you can go to your second option, and then if they load up on him, you can go to your third option, and he can still go get you a bucket, which is what Melo did.
It obviously took us by surprise, though, because Melo had no idea where to go with the ball once Dame wasn't open. And that was an interesting move by Nurse. And see, this is what I'm talking about. It didn't work out for them, but I like that he was like, no way am I letting Dame beat us.
Dame had been hot, hit 2 clutch shots right before that.
He was like, Dame's not even going to touch the ball in this possession. And he did some of that in the finals against Curry and took him out of a couple possessions in close games. And like I said, it didn't work out. But when you're struggling as bad as we have on defense, those are the kind of things I wish we'd see every once in a while. Nothing's working. Let's just try to quick double team someone when they're not expecting it, or just try something different. But yeah, so then he inbounds to CJ, and he just kind of stands there dribbling in the corner. It's kind of weird, running out the time from the corner instead of up top. It was
a unique, strange situation. I was glad that CJ didn't go early. I thought he might go a little bit too early once he caught the ball in that possession, but he was patient. And then made the right pass to Melo.
Once Melo got the ball, I knew he was going to shoot a mid-range shot. It's just a question of how long he was going to take.
But it had been falling for him. The thing is, he had been struggling with his mid-range shot so far this year. It's starting to pick up. It's starting to fall, and it's helped him have some big performances lately. Jake Carey says, nice job by CJ to not drive in to help either. Toronto wanted to push him baseline into Ibaka. Yeah, they 100% did, and that's the thing. If you're CJ, I could have seen how CJ would have been like, okay, I have this driving lane, maybe I can get baseline and make something happen, whether it's a score or then dishing out of it once the help comes. But it would have been a tough possession for him to be in with 4 seconds on the clock or whenever he decided to drive. So getting it up top, especially when they were loading up on Dame and especially when they were loading up on the baseline, that left a lot of room in the middle for Melo to just go one-on-one. Melo had so much room to make that move. He just had to get that shot off past his defender. It was basically just one-on-one, and that's what I'm talking about when you have 3 isolation scores and they load up on the first one, take away Dame, and then they load up on CJ, take away him, try and force him to help and load up the help on the baseline. It leaves a lot of space for that third isolation scorer, and if that third isolation scorer is a good scorer, if it's somebody like a Carmelo Anthony, he can get a good shot out of it and knock it down and hit a game winner. So it was nice to finally get a game winner. I can't remember if we had a last second game winner before at some point this season. I think we maybe had one, but I can't remember it.
We had the Simons one, but it got
that's
ruined by Korkmaz.
Yep. Damn Korkmaz, man. Freaking Furk on freaking Korkmaz. So that Anthony one was the one I was thinking about. We didn't win that game. It's nice that it was Melo too in a big game.
Yeah. When Melo pulled up though, and there was still 5 seconds left when he shot it, I was like, no, you left him too much time.
Yeah.
Knowing our end of game defense. But yeah, it's glad it worked out.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. So, I got rec league at 7:30. I'll probably leave it 7:15, 7:20. Do you want to set up your camera and we can switch to your camera view? I'll just keep this streaming right here. And we can get your camera view up in 20 minutes. You want to run the stream for a bit? Or we can shut off the stream if you're busy.
I'll be fine just ending it, and then I can help put my kids to bed and stuff. But
Gotcha. Yeah. So
Some of these game times are
it just
interfering with
sucks,
family
man.
time.
I
Yeah,
know, I know. It just sucks because this is the type of game where I'd stream for 3 hours on.
right.
Uh, but we'll cover the
I,
rest of this.
if there's still like over 90 people in here, I might.
Yeah, just let me know. Just let me know. But Destrom says rec league and college ball. Damn, my man's balling. Just rec, not college ball. That was a few years ago. I'm a few years removed. But yeah, I mean, let me look at the box score. I want to look at the box score. Carmelo Anthony led the team 28 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 10 for 17 from the field, 5 for 8 from the three-point line. Efficient night from Carmelo. This is the type of Melo we were hoping for. Damian Lillard had 25 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. He didn't really shoot. Only 11
0 at halftime.
Yeah, only 11 shots in 37 minutes, but it was an efficient 11 shots, 20 points. Also had 9 assists, so he made some plays for other people. Hassan Whiteside had 14, 16, 7, and 4. My goodness, what a stat line. 14 points, 16 rebounds, 7 blocks, 4 assists, 7 for 13 from the field. Terrific statistical night. Hassan Whiteside has these nights where it's just like, okay, he had a decent performance, and then you look at the box score, and it's like, dang, like, is that...
Well, he had a couple of key blocks too down the stretch.
Oh yeah, he stepped
our
up.
Defense is completely broken down, and he just came up with a nice block.
Yeah. The 4 assists. I didn't realize he had that many assists. CJ McCollum struggled in his first game back from the flu. He's probably still a little under the weather, but he had 10 points, 6 assists, 1 steal, but he shot 5 for 19 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, 0 for 1 from the free throw line. So he really struggled. The fact that we won this game with CJ McCollum struggling like that is a bit impressive in my opinion. Anthony Simons had a solid game, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3.
That Simons had that one horrible turnover. He's just trying to dribble, and he coughed it up, and it led to an easy fast break bucket. But
yeah, I mean, this wasn't necessarily like a good game, but compared to like how he was a month ago, you know what I mean? Like this would have been a good performance for him a month ago compared to what he was doing. So the fact that like this is kind of like the I don't know, he's raising the bar and he's raising his floor. I feel like because you look at this performance, like okay, it's not that good, but he was much worse than this, consistently much worse than this just a month ago. Yeah. So he's had some good games lately, and then. This is fine. 12 points off the bench. We need somebody to score. It's not really an easy position for him to be in, considering the guys he's playing next to. That's fine. His defense is improving. I like what I'm seeing out of Anthony. Other than that, no noticeable performances.
One thing about CJ real quick is I think the game before the Heat game that he missed, he had 6 assists too. So if he's consistently getting into that range for assists, that's really good to see.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I do think there was times tonight where he did force and he could have maybe made a pass to a more open player,
especially the first half.
Yeah, but I think his playmaking has been a little bit better this season. It's still not where I think it could be. I think he should be getting at least 5 assists a game, given his ball handling ability, given how much defenses load up on his scoring threat. But 6 assists, can't complain about that. Jay Carey says Anthony's between the legs, behind the back, hezzy floater in the third was slick. And those types of moves are what have people excited about him, because most people aren't pulling out those moves in an NBA game at 20 years old.
And you can't really defend it either.
Yeah, I mean, like, his scoring package is impressive for his age. So it just makes me think about, like, what is he going to be doing when he's in his prime if he's doing moves like this now? And when you look at his athleticism, his shot-making ability, it sounds like you got a fight going on there. You got to go break up a brawl or something.
They've been my 2 youngest have been arguing all evening.
What have they been arguing about?
I don't know, dumb stuff. I don't even know what they're arguing about right
now. But anyway.
So CJ's like breakout year, his assist percentage was up to 21.6, which is the percentage of of like baskets assisted on while he's on the court. And then it's dropped the next 3 seasons. It dropped to 18, 15.8%, 13.8% for the lowest since he became a starter last year. And now this year it's up to 16.8%. So not quite as good as his first 2 seasons as a starter, but better than the last couple of seasons where it's gone way down. So hopefully he continues to build on that a little bit. If he gets that back up to 20, I think that makes us a much better team.
Definitely. It's his first year improving in a while, man. And that's the thing. His first year as a starter, he made plays a lot better than he does now. So his decline in that area kind of sucked to see. And his decline in efficiency sucked to see. But hopefully he can improve that throughout his prime. I mean, I don't know. I would just love to see him tap into that playmaking ability more than he has in the past couple of years. And for the dunk contest, it looks like Anthony's not going to be in the dunk contest. It's not the field isn't like completely confirmed. Morant and Levine might not be in it. I hope they put Anthony in it if one of those guys decides not to be in it. But yeah, I mean, Anthony's fun to watch. You got Carmelo. When Carmelo's hitting shots, he's fun to watch. Winning games like this is fun to watch. Winning games with deep Dame threes is fun to watch. So this is just, I've been hoping for a game like this, just for some fun, for some good feelings, for some positive vibes, because it's been so long since we've had positive vibes in one of these post-game streams. I've just wanted some positive vibes, man. I've been pessimistic, bit negative lately just because of the way the team's playing. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. I think, we've had some legitimate 100%. I've gotten a couple things wrong in terms of my complaints. The main thing that I can think of is last game I called out Terry Stotts for starting Hassan Whiteside on Myers Leonard, but it wasn't like really the case.
Real quick, I went back and watched the first few minutes until Myers hit his second 3, and Jake Curry was correct.
Yeah, I watched it too. He was correct. So I was wrong on that, but most of my complaints I feel like have been legit. But
they did. So the two Myers threes, Whiteside was on him. They got confused, running down the court, and Whiteside had to take him, and he backed way off. Which, yes, you messed up, but I'm not going to completely dismiss it because both bigs need to know the scouting reports on those guys. I mean, not believe it too.
See, those plays made me think like Whiteside was on him, since those are plays where it really stood out. So I mean, but I feel like even though we've been negative because the team's been playing bad, we've been down because the team's been playing bad, but it's not like our negativity has led us to saying things that I don't believe are. I think we tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're just like overreacting, being emotional, and making stuff up. I think we tell the truth. I've been waiting for something to get me positive in a post-game stream because I've heard people say, just be more positive, man. Just be more positive. But it's like when the team is losing 6 out of 7 games, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I can't fake positivity. Like, I can't be anything other than myself on the stream, on Twitter. Like, I'm just myself. So I get down as much as any fan, man. I get super frustrated in a stretch of 6 of 7 games. So I've just been searching for something to be positive about, and we got it with this game.
So when I went back and looked, though, I was specifically looking at just Melo and Whiteside on defense, and pretty much every play Melo did something bad, just got caught standing around or didn't fight hard through an off-ball pick or something like that, which led to the defense getting messed up. But the 2 Myers threes were more on off a missed shot, and they just guarded who they were close to. But it's weird when you focus on something like that and you see every possession, there's dude, come on. It's frustrating.
Yeah, definitely.
Chad only wants to talk about trades again.
I know, that's the thing. I'm talking about positive vibes and enjoying this win, and we're already talking about trades. Oh, chat. That's such a chat thing. Oh my goodness.
Jake Carey wants us to get Grant Williams, though.
Ew, no, bro. Wasn't he 0 for 23 from 3 to start the season? Eric will have you got the Eric rendered a trade talk video, right?
Yeah, it's all set to go. Were you gonna send me the thumbnail, or do you want me to send you the video so you can
Send me
post
the
it?
video.
Okay.
I'll post Eric's trade talk tonight at some point. I gotta make the thumbnail. Dame Dollar said he's 5'6" and dunked on somebody in a game, so I want to see the picture. So send it to my Instagram. If it's legit, then I'll bring it up for the stream to say, because apparently he's dunking on people at 5'6" for his freshman team. So
No
if
way.
he's actually doing that, then guys, show him some love. I gotta see this picture. I need a clip though, bro, because you can find any picture of like a 5'6" guy dunking on somebody, and it could be legit. I'm not saying you're lying, but I need to see this. So send it to you said Instagram, Blazers Uprise. Send it to Blazers Uprise Instagram. I think it's literally that's the username, Blazers Uprise, or on Twitter.
Or it was that hoop on the upper level at the Moda Center where you can pretend and take a picture like you're dunking. He probably just did that.
Yeah. Russell first round exit Westbrook asking for a 300-second ban, but that's your warning. Mr. Pause,
He's right though.
Remove that. You making this awkward. He said I wanted that doesn't make it any better. I was gonna say I wanted a video of him dunking on somebody. It's freaking basketball. Oh my goodness. AM Production said he deleted Twitter because of the news was given. I don't know what he means by that. But yeah, if you don't follow us on Twitter, at Tory Jones for me, at Hoopsjock for Eric, at Blazers Uprise for the channel. I experimented with opening up this stream before the game so you could live chat throughout the game. We only had 3-4 people in here. I was barely in here myself, to be honest, because I tweet out a lot, and then I got caught up in that crap on Twitter. But
I think it helped having the stream up though, so people knew about it and were ready
100%.
when it starts, because it tells you what time it's gonna go live.
So I'll probably do that in the future. So if you guys want to live chat with each other during the game, you can actually click on my stream. I'll tweet it out at the start of the game. I'll tweet out the link, and you can live chat in the stream during the game, and then I'll start the post game show on the stream after the game, if that makes sense. Eddie Simba says, saw that on Twitter. He was silly. I thought so too. That was silly, man. That was so silly. But it's like a guy who I've liked in the past. It's a guy who I've been cool with in the past. And I told him, if I say something that you have a problem with, just text me. He has my number. He said, okay. And then here he is calling me on Twitter because I made a joke about injuries. Why are the Toronto Raptors playing like they have injuries? I'm confused, or something like that. Just being sarcastic, tongue in cheek. Really?
I just didn't get of all tweets why call you out on those.
I know,
ones. It's not like you were calling Stotts an idiot or something.
I know, this was literally just being tongue in cheek. Damn, I wish the Toronto Raptors could play like they had injuries. You know what I mean?
You have plenty of tweets that you could get called out on.
I know, and then I asked, and then he's like, it's like a bunch of different tweets, and you just have a toxic tone. And I'm like, okay, show me the tweets where I have a toxic tone then. And he wouldn't, and he refused to show me the tweets. Like, that's not my job to show you. It's if you're gonna call me out on something, then show me the tweets, man. I don't know. If you guys saw that go down on Twitter, I thought that was silly, but we're not going to focus on that. I think I'm wrapping up the stream here in a second, unless you want to keep it going, Eric.
Reed Newcomer had a rap lyric for you.
He had a rap lyric? Where's it at?
Iranian military, or you would have thought there was an Iranian military leader in Toronto the way Dame was dropping bombs tonight.
I'd have to rap that hella fast to fit that in one bar, though.
Well, you can make it work. Someone suggested we just have a longer podcast tomorrow to make up for the.
Okay, yeah, hey, longer podcast tomorrow around 3:30 or something like that. Tune in. We got some cool graphics. We do a cool picks against the spread segment. We got both our face cams. Those podcasts are a lot of fun. We can talk more about this game. I would like to get the viewership up a little bit for that. Hopefully this win helps that. So if you guys are free, then definitely tune in. Tory looking like Yellow Wolf with the new cut. Oh my god, man. nah, nah, man. No, that's not. I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to look like Yellow Wolf. All about how good Grant Williams is. We'll talk about how good Grant Williams is just to get you to tune in, Jake. We'll talk about Tyler Harrow. We'll talk about Herter. We'll talk about Grant Williams. We'll talk about who else did he really like out of the draft in the past few years. I'm trying to remember. I'm blanking.
Yeah, those are the main guys.
Yep.
Well, good luck in your game. You haven't played in a while, huh? Or did you play last?
I played last week, and
you had a game last week.
I ate some crap food in the morning, and it was killing me at night. So I've been eating better the past few days. So I'm feeling better. Went to the gym yesterday. So actually, like my game's at 8:30, but I'm playing for a team at 7:30. I'm subbing, so I'm gonna get 2 games in tonight. Because I want that extra run, man. I need to play some basketball. I've literally only played in 1 game in the last like 2.5 weeks because Christmas break and all that. So I'm excited to play some basketball. I'm excited that the Blazers won. And we'll be back on our podcast tomorrow. So please tune in if you can. I think you'll enjoy it. We'll talk a little bit of trades. We'll talk about whatever you guys want us to talk about. We'll answer some questions. I got a mailbag hopefully coming tonight. Eric's Trade Talk tonight.
Watch my video.
And if you're interested, Peeps and Plaid, I also posted before this game. They are like previewing NBA in 2030. You know, what the NBA could look like 10 years from now. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll have to. That seems like an interesting concept for a podcast. So got some content coming to you guys in the next day. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully this fun Blazers win has you enjoying some of the content more than you otherwise would. Blazers wrap up their road trip with Minnesota in a couple days. They could go 3-2 on this road trip, which is solid. You know what I mean? Like 3-2 on this road trip, I would say, okay, that's solid. Would have expected to maybe lose against the Raptors and beat the freaking New York Knicks, but 3-2 is acceptable. It sucks that it could be 4-1 where we just beat the Knicks and can't believe we lost to them by 24. But I mean, the team's playing a little bit better now. Struggled against the Heat, but beat the Toronto Raptors. I mean, this Toronto Raptors win was a lot harder than simply beating the New York Knicks. But take what we can get at this point. So Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to this post-game show. Sorry it's so short. We'll try and make it up to you on our podcast tomorrow, and then in the content. And with the content we're dropping tonight. So with that, I'm out of here. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. This is it for me and Eric. Peace out. Go Blazers.